I am Bill from CJ Pony Parts. When we first got our black 2017 Raptor, we told you guys we had a lot of plans for this truck. Now we started off with some wheels and tires to give it a nice custom look. Then we added a couple different exhaust systems. Well, today we're going to give our Raptor a really aggressive front end appearance by installing this HoneyBadger bumper from ADD. This custom front bumper from ADD is designed to fit all 2017 Raptors, and the HoneyBadger name is absolutely perfect because we all know HoneyBadger don't care, which is the perfect description for how aggressive this front bumper looks. Again, this is a direct replacement. It's going to add additional locations for lighting over what our factory bumper has. For this installation, they had a 1/4 inch ratchet, 8mm socket, 1/2 inch ratchet, 1/2 inch torque wrench, 13mm socket, 15mm socket, 19mm socket, 21mm socket, 19mm wrench, 21mm wrench, panel removal tool, and a small plastic pry bar. Now, the first step of the installation is obviously to remove our factory bumper, but before we do that, I want to let you know this is most definitely a two-man installation. The factory bumper and the ADD bumper are very heavy and very hard to move around, so you want to make sure you have some help before you begin the install. Now, we'll start onto the front of the truck with the skid plate. There's going to be 2 bolts in the back and then 4 more in the front. The front skid plate out of the way, pull down the secondary plate. There's going to be 2 U-nuts in here you want to remove. With the skid plates off, now remove the front bumper itself. These panels are all one piece and are held on by plastic clips. We'll use a small plastic pry bar to pop out the clips carefully to remove it. Now back onto the truck, you want to remove the bumper support bar, which is located on the edge here. Remove the bolt from the truck side of it, not the bumper side. Do the same on both sides. At this point, there's going to be 6 nuts holding the bumper on. There'll be 2 in the back on each, 1 on each side here and the other side, and everything else is out front. Then the nuts are in the front. There's going to be 2 on each side. Now we can remove the bumper. Now you want to be careful, there is a rubber shroud behind it we will have to disconnect. Next, remove this rubber trim. It's held on by push pins underneath. Just want to pop them out to remove it. Now the last thing we're going to remove before we install our new bumper is our factory tow hooks. Start by taking this bracket off in the back and then remove the hooks. Now you want to grab the provided U-nuts and the factory holes here where we removed the factory U-nut earlier and replace them with the ones provided by ADD. Now what you want to do is put the HoneyBadger bumper up into place. We're going to use the factory bolts and the factory nuts. You basically want to rest it on the corners of the frame rails here. Once you get the 4 nuts on the factory bolts, now we're going to install the bolts provided by ADD in the factory locations. Get it tight, but not fully tight. You want to have a little bit of play for adjustment. Now we're going to use this applied hardware to attach the ADD skid plate to the factory location. Now you want to torque these bolts to 20 foot-pounds. If you want to, it's a little easier to get to these bolts if you remove these plates. Now what we're going to do, once we get the bottom bolt tight and the skid plate tight, we're going to remove the nuts from this bracket here, because the inner one is pretty much impossible to get to. What we're going to do then is just pull this bracket out and flip it around the other way. And there's a lot more room to get the nuts on the back. And your installation's finished. The ADD HoneyBadger front bumper really gives our 2017 Raptor that aggressive, tough look we're looking for in the front of the truck. It also allows us to add lighting, which is something we'll definitely be doing in the future. As far as the installation goes, it's a little time consuming, figure about 2 to 3 hours. Be back on the road in no time.